Pretty much, you can only stay neutral for so long. I think that's one of the things that we talked about until the issues really show up with a name and a story that you can't ignore. And that's kind of possibly the other reasoning of, wait, I got to also get out of this space and really go to where it really matters. What made you go from the mediation to law school, and how did you purpose shift along the way?
Uh, how I got there was reluctantly. I I think I had been encouraged by people who loved me, who were close to me, to go to law school. But I began working with a survivor as a mediator who didn't have money for an attorney. Her abuser kept violating the protection order while I was mediating her case. I couldn't tell her, you don't need to agree to anything that goes on here. You know, he's not doing things that are in the best interest of the children, but you can't say that as a mediator because you have to be neutral. So that is that is really what I was hearing. And it was important to me to be part of that conversation with her. I wanted to be somebody who, if you can't afford a traditional attorney, I want to be that person to help her navigate the court systems and figure out something that kept her and her child safe. Um,
So I want to go kind of back. So this
yeah,
mediator,
yeah,
right? It's a person in the room. So even though you knew one side was right and the other was completely wrong, you still had to play in the middle, right? And I can imagine there's just time that you walked away just kind of hurt that I wanted to do more and I couldn't, and that really kind of fueled where you are today. Is that correct?
yeah. I would say that's accurate. Ultimately, mom was not safe, and by extension, her child wasn't safe. And so, I'm not saying it's not right for a father to be in a child's life, but in that particular situation, when she was so unsafe, and all I could do to was to connect her to somebody who could help her, yeah, it just felt a little hollow. So it occurred to me then, I've got to try this law school thing, but as long as I can do it the way that it makes sense for me and the kinds of work that I want to do.
Do you feel there's still law students out there that feel stuck chasing a career that doesn't really fit them?
Gosh, I think there has to be. I think, or at least my experience of law school, is that it really points you towards litigation, working for a firm, maybe doing contracts, kind of that traditional thing that we all think of when we think
Hmm.
of attorneys. So for me, it was about finding a law school that would allow me to like build a path, to figure out what it means to serve the kinds of folks that I was mediating cases for who couldn't afford a traditional attorney, who was maybe knew a little bit of social work. That was really what I wanted, but nobody was talking about it. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming there are law students out there who are having the same experience, and trust and believe jobs like mine exist. I'm not a unicorn. I'm not special. But it does take persistence, and it takes kind of knowing what's important on the inside and how do I fit it with what's on the outside, that alignment that I keep talking about.
When you find this dream job, was it like, where has it been all along? Or, man, this is what I've been working for. What was the real feeling when you get this?
Yeah, I was definitely, I mean, I think initially walking through the doors, I was excited, but gosh, after my first week, I was not sure that I was going to make it a year.
Really?
It's hard. It's scary. Um, you have a lot of responsibility. You hear the worst of human behavior. Um, but I mean, I knew the whole time this is what I'm meant to do, which
Hmm.
sounds cheesy,
Yeah.
but I felt it like I believe in this. I want to do this. I have to do this. I have to figure out how to make this work because other people do it. I can't, it can't just be me who struggles. So there is a way through. So no, it was not like, oh my gosh, this is great. It was, I'm freaked out of my mind.
I can imagine. And you're in an organization where most people don't even know what you guys do until someone in their family, someone they love, really need you guys. Can you kind of talk about what you guys do at the WCA?
Yeah, so our mission is to assist anyone experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and stalking to achieve safety and then lead a self determined life.
Mm-hmm.
So um, we work with people who have been victimized by the worst kinds of abuse. They come to us in crisis, having experienced trauma. So that's the first part of our mission. And then what takes us through to the second part is advocacy, case management, legal services, peer support groups to hopefully eventually help this person take a journey through to a life that is independent of abuse, to where they feel like they don't have to go suffer just to have a family, have money, have a roof over their head. It's essentially what we do.
As we go here into holidays, you're in a very place where you have to stay grounded in the work that you do. Like how, when it could be emotionally just draining, how do you continue to kind of fill your cup per se to keep doing this over and over every single day with the love and the passion that you have?
Yeah, and I get asked that question all the time. I think self-care, to be quippy, it's a journey. It
Hmm.
really required something different of me when I was just starting out than it does today. I think one thing that fills my cup is working with clients and seeing the progress step by
Hmm.
step that they make toward a life that makes sense for them, that's safe for them. I think the other thing that fills my cup is working next to the individuals that I do who are also passionate about doing this work, who can see the same terrible
Yep.
behavior that I see and just take these huge steps, big efforts to help somebody else out. But besides that, I try to stay active. I meet with a therapist regularly to kind of process the tough emotions. But it does just change kind of my physical needs, my emotional, mental needs change. So you always have to kind of be self-assessing. Am I am I okay? Because eventually your body will tell you you are not fine.
Yeah.
It catches up.